So I'm going to be doing a Divine Masculine reading today. Let's see what's going on. I kind of want to be able to get to a place where these readings really involve mostly about self-development in terms of our own masculine and feminine energies. So I say that I want to do a Divine Masculine, but I want to do as a whole, right? Focusing on what the feminine is going through and then what the masculine is going through in terms of individual people. So this could be you kind of coming in this is you as a whole, right? You as the individual. This is what your masculine side needs to be telling your own feminine side. And should you resonate in a way where it's outside of yourself, so let's say this is something in terms of a romantic adventure or endeavor. That did not happen at all how I wanted it to. This could be both, right? So if this is you're watching this and wow, that was a weird stutter. You're watching this and you don't necessarily have someone, or there's just nobody that's really in your midst, then you can resonate with this in terms of an individual basis, okay? But if this is mostly to do with you and another person, right, then that's how it might resonate with you. So let's kind of see what's going on here. For the most part, though, this is just a general reading, so we'll see how this goes. I was just bored and I feel like I wanted to do something. So we'll see. Okay. Divine Masculine. Oy. Okay. Your shadow card is Mischief in Play, but it is in reverse. This card did come up. It fell on the ground. However, because I see it, it says regret. This could be maybe someone's trying to get over a part of themselves that they no longer want to hold on to. And because of what that part of themselves has brought to their own life, they're starting to recognize how they have a few regrets about how they might have been acting or how they might have been portraying themselves, because it probably wasn't who they actually were. It was mostly just a defense mechanism, right? And within that defense mechanism, that's sometimes where we are really defensive, where we're really protective over just our hearts in general. But because of this, there's an energy of change, and because there's an energy of change that leads me to know that what is developing this change, what is causing this transformation, is that eternal love, right? So someone really wants to be able to develop or build a foundation where it's built on eternal love, and because that is the main motive, someone is starting to see the amount of possibilities that could possibly evolve into, or their life could be changing in a way where they're starting to see a lot more to themselves, and they're learning that a lot of control is needed right now. And with this control card, they're learning discipline. This could also be you, right? Your masculine side is learning how to discipline, right? And not necessarily be so defensive, not necessarily be this person who is so like people don't know how to contact you, or there's just this intimidating factor about you, or there's just things about yourself that you're just not willing to put up with anymore. It's, in a sense, you're taking that mask off, and you're taking back that control with that witch card. If you could possibly be dealing with you could possibly be dealing with someone who is very into the occult. And with that being said, this is also something that's brought to your attention that there's a lot more to life than just the little mundane things that we've been taught. So let's see, from then on, I'm going to move on with this card, this deck here. Definitely in a place of transition. In a place of transition in terms of that validation, learning how to validate yourself before you can include or incorporate someone else's eternal or just someone else's energy in the midst. Honestly, I think this has a lot to do with learning how to accept, right? Learning how to accept as well as learning how to push forward. Because that regret card came out and it flew a little bit out, I'm learning, someone could be learning. Someone's really learning more about how self-sabotaging it's been acting the way that they have. Let's see. And there's that Magician card again. There we go. For sure. Okay, so there's probably not any movement right now because the movement has been delayed. There's a lot of structural foundations that have to be taken place before someone can actually step forward and bring you their cup of love. Someone really has to allow this transformation to completely obliterate whatever idea that they had about themselves, and then allow that communication to kind of come in a way where it's not so harsh, or it's not so rigid, it's not so icy. I think someone really wants to be or bring warmth to the situation, and should they be coming right now, or should they express themselves right now, it would be in a way where it might not be accepted as well as they think. Yes, whoever this person is, while they do have a lot of emotion for you, let's see if this is, whoever this person is could definitely be a water sign or a Scorpio. There's a deep love in this situation. There's a deep love. There's that Ten of Cups along with the Empress. But what this Empress tells me is that this is a woman of all. She's every woman, and this man can only offer a specific part of himself, and he might not necessarily feel as if he has control over what he can offer, and it might create this disappointment within him in order for him, someone doesn't have the strength to come forward, because if they were to come forward right now, they would still be defensive, and there's a chance that they might be still turn their back on this situation. I don't think whoever this person is lying. I just think that they're going through a lot of emotions in terms of what really they can bring to the table here. And I think that because of whoever this person might be, definitely a masculine person for sure. It's that King of Cups. So this tells me that they're trying to unlearn their manipulative ways before they can reach out to you. And with that being said, who's to say what that journey looks like on their end? But should this be on an individual basis, right? And that individual basis, what this tells me is that you're also unlearning the ways that you've defeated yourself in terms of how much you've given to the scenario, and not understanding that there needs to be a balance, right? And because there needs to be this balance, you have to find the passion, the energy to really put your full force into one thing, instead of these little multiple things that kind of take you away from yourself. Let's see. I want to clarify what this Death card is and this Ten of Cups. Probably this Empress also. Yeah, now that Queen of Swords came out upside down, so that tells me that someone is really trying to avoid being cold. They don't want to have that rigid communication where it's just like, okay, bye. It's just you're butting heads the entire time and nothing is actually getting done. Yeah, there's a lot of friction in these cards here. Could be, I don't want to say anger, but someone might be understanding more of their anger and how to express themselves with that King of Cups. So someone is learning how to control their emotions to be able to express to you exactly what they might need from you, or how they feel. Oh, see, and that Queen of Cups came right on top of that King of Cups. So this is definitely a match, right? This is a match, but this could also be you coming to full understanding of just exactly what you're here to do. I think that you're starting to understand that you're a very secure person, and because you're a very secure person, you have to let go of defeating habits. So those habits where it's not helping you, and you know it's not helping you, and you don't always have to help yourself sometimes, but you have to understand when you're defeating yourself also with these little stupid habits or traits or whatever it is that you're trying to work through, right? And I don't mean stupid in a way to be insensitive. I think that you know that you shouldn't be doing these things, but you're starting to look up right now, and you're realizing that you've been lower than you should have been. You think that a lot of what, see with that Empress card, to be careful of pregnancies, and whoever this person is might also be dealing with someone who is very fertile. You could be very fertile also with that Queen of Cups and 2 Empresses, especially with that 10 of Cups combined. Let's see here. But I don't think that someone in this scenario isn't as willing as the other person, and that's because someone has decided to leave the situation and not communicate their emotions. And by not communicating their emotions, they've allowed for this confusion to kind of come through, which is making sure that people know exactly what they want. So within this time of space or just away from each other, right? People can focus more on their money. And when you focus more on your money, you get kind of more of a clear pathway in terms of what you want in a relationship, or what you're willing to offer, or what you want to receive. And that's the necessity of what this distance could have been. Should have brought attention to whoever this person is, about the fact that they haven't been offering, their communication hasn't been, it doesn't come from the heart, it's coming from the mind. And because it's coming from the mind, that basically tells me that they're starting to recognize how this might have led to you leaving or the situation ending, and they're starting to understand that they should have treated you better, and there's an opportunity to come forward. But whoever this person is going to need to learn how to control a lot of what they're feeling, because they might get into phases where they feel like they don't know what to do, and they just let things kind of hang, but they love you. There's definitely a lot of love here. It seems more like a transcendental kind of love, where it's this, you both awaken your heart chakras, both of you are awakened when you're with each other, but because of the distance, it also makes you realize where you might be falling short on yourself, right? Okay, I think I might end it there. I'm gonna do the affirmations, and then we'll see what comes out. I know there's 2 in here that want to come out. Those were the 2. We have respect and empowerment along with intuition. So the first card is respect. So it says, I can manifest love and respect when I love and respect myself, right? So when whoever this person is, whoever you're dealing with, along with you, okay? So along with whoever's watching this video, when you get to a place where you learn to respect your emotions, when you learn to respect what you're going through, when you just learn how to kind of just understand what you're feeling, it's going to lead to a phase of empowerment, which that didn't even show you. It's going to lead into a phase of empowerment, because it says, I recognize and appreciate all that inspires me to feel empowered. And with that respect that you gain for yourself, that understanding, right, with just knowing what you want, your intuition is what's going to guide you to the places and things that you enjoy. So right now it's really crucial for you to tap into your heart space and allow your mind to really kind of flow through rather than dominate each other. Understood? So it's basically like the more you respect yourself, the more you find the courage to feel empowered to follow your intuition, because you are right when you feel these things. So you've gotten to a place right now where you're no longer not listening to your heart, and you're listening to your logic. However, your mind, you're basically melting the two together, kind of thing. Which is actually really beautiful. So this was a great reading. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. This was just for fun, so we'll see what happens with the next one. Have a good day.